What's up, guys? Carolina Jackpot coming at you. It's Wednesday evening, and I'm doing the picks against the spread video that has become uber popular over here on the Carolina Jackpot channel in the past 3 years. A little bit differently tonight. I'm doing it actually live, and if you're in here, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button, please. What's up, swipers, F's and M? I'm going to do like two videos in one. I normally do the recap of the previous week's picks against the spread and a separate video, and then I will do the picks against the spread and another one. Well, I'm going to do it all tonight. What's up, Christian? Doing good. And so bear with me. This is my first time trying to do all this, together. So here we go. Let's throw this down. Looking back at week number 13's picks. So go back in time a little bit, guys. You got to go back to, last week. And for the year, Carolina Jackpot was 109, 103, and 2 against the spread. So I'll see how I did last week on these picks. All right, Iowa State at Texas. Texas 1 point favorite or underdog at home. We know that Iowa State did cover that spread. They won there. I'm better than the Georgia guy, Lou. I don't know about that, but thank you. I appreciate it. Nebraska at Iowa. I had Iowa covering. They did not cover. They won game by 6 points. Central Florida at South Florida. I had South Florida covering, and they did. They won or lost the game, 58-20 to 46. Hanging tough. Notre Dame, I had covering at UNC, was favored by 5.5, won by 2 touchdowns. Stanford at California. California was a 1.5 point favorite as of the filming of the video last week. Now, that one went back and forth. Stanford won 24-23, so I did not cover the spread here. Did not cover it. In some spots, Cal was actually underdog. So, if they'd have been a 2 point underdog, would have covered, but it did not. Oregon State, the Beeve was 13.5 point underdogs. They won the game straight up against Oregon, 41-38. Awesome win for the Beeve. Vandy at Missouri. I had Vandy covering the spread here. This one, I would have to pick this one as my third pick of the week. Vanderbilt actually got crushed 41-0. I didn't see that coming. They've been playing a lot better up until the point of last week. So I don't know what happened. The girl kicker sure didn't do them any favors. They didn't win, and they looked terrible. They only gained like 100 yards of total offense that game, and their coach got fired the next day. So there you go. Coastal at Texas State. I could also qualify that as a third pick of the week. I went against Coastal. They got me again. I won that game. I don't know. I don't know what the score was. 49-14. So that one was wrong. Louisville at Boston College. Boston College did cover that spread. They won that game by 7 points there as we move on to page 2. Kentucky at Florida, 25.5 point favorite. They didn't win, lost 34-10. I think was the final score there. Actually, on the line that it closed at, it was a push. Oh, god dang, it's got that old push. But here, I didn't cover the spread because it had inflated to 25.5 as of when I filmed the video last week. Texas Tech at Oak State. Oak State won by 6, so I didn't cover there either. Damn it! SMU at East Carolina. East Carolina won the game here by final score of, this was a high-scoring affair. Good gracious, if I can find it. 52-38. So they covered the spread pretty easily there. They're 12.5 point dogs. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to go onto my YouTube. Okay. I can get rid of him. Comes back again. I'm gonna block him. NC State at Syracuse. NC State didn't cover there. They won by 7 points. Penn State, Michigan. Penn State did cover that game. Won 27-17. Maryland, Indiana. Indiana wins 27-11. So they covered that number. Ohio State, Illinois game did not get played. Auburn at Alabama. Auburn didn't cover. They lost by 29 points. I believe was the final of 42-13. They should have been able to punch it in there at the end. Bo Nix sucks. So they should have scored on that last drive and would have covered that one, but it didn't happen. Pittsburgh at Clemson. Pitt, the Lou voice is the most annoying thing on YouTube. I can't. I agree. I'm just kidding. Clemson did cover that easily. Very easily. All right. Moving on. Northwestern at Michigan State. My lock of the week. My lock got busted. That was wrong. Michigan State. What the fuck? That was just horrible. That they would lose that game to a terrible Michigan State team like that. Northwestern was really on a roll, but that's what happens. That's what happens. So that's awful jackpot. Auburn had no chance. Yeah, I know they had no chance. They still could have covered. They should have covered the spread. They should have scored there at the end of that game. But they didn't. Mississippi State, and I'll watch if Georgia loses. That's pretty good stuff if they do when it happens. It don't happen a lot. Not enough for my liking anyway. Mississippi State and Ole Miss, that one was correct. Mississippi State lost that one 31-24. They were 9.5-point underdogs. Rutgers at Purdue. Rutgers ended up winning that game straight up 37-30. So there we go again. Rutgers making a little bit of money for some folks this year. Duke, 56-33. Wow. They lost that one. K-State and Baylor. Baylor won by 1 point, 32-31, so that's a correct pick. LSU, Texas A&M, another correct pick. A&M wins 20-7. Georgia and South Carolina, obviously, first time in program history they've gone without a home win. Wow. So none of that will get rescheduled. They can't play any games at home. That's bad. We know South Carolina's definitely gone without some home wins, so we know how that feels. Georgia and South Carolina, I got that one right, covered 45-16 win. Utah and Washington, that was an incorrect pick. Washington won, but it was 24-21. And then Virginia and Florida State, so that one didn't get played at all. And let's see how this ended up doing, and then I'm going to get into the week 14 picks. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, 5-4, 5-6, 6-6, 7-6, 7-7, 8, 9, 10-7, 10-8. 10-9, 10-10, 11-10, 11-11, 12, 13-11, 13-12, so 14-12 there against the number last week. So still over 50%. Add that to whatever I had the week before. I'll figure all that mathematics up, but still over 50% for the year and looking pretty decent. So let's see. Let's get into week number 14 real quick. This is like the last real week of the college football season. There's some makeup games to be played and something like that. James Thompson says recount. All right. I'll start with different pages here. Maybe I'm giving myself too many. 1-1, 2, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, 5-4, 5-5, 5-6, 6-6, 6-7, 7-8-7, 8-8, 9-8, 9-9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 9. Okay, it might be 14 and 11. I don't know. We know I got 14 right one way or the other, so we're going to get into the week number 14. What is wrong with this thing? Set up right there, you. All right. Week number 14, let's get at it. This is a Thursday night game. We got Louisiana Tech going on, or no, sorry. Get my shit together here. Friday night game, my bad. We got Louisiana going on the road to App State. App State is laying 2.5 at home here. The Raging Cajuns, yeah, they may be a little bit of distraction there with Billy Napier, head coach, little head coaching talks with some Power 5 jobs, maybe the Gamecocks, maybe not. App State's 2.5-point favorite. They are good at home. Louisiana is ranked number 25 in the country. Louisiana's wrapped up a trip to the Sun Belt Conference Championship game to take on Coastal Carolina. So I don't know how focused they're going to be here in this one. This would be the last game at home for Zach Thomas. Been at App State since the late 70s. So I'm going to take the Mountaineers at home to cover the number here. They look good last week against Troy. They blew them out. Louisiana, a good team, but they put up a lot of points last week against UL Monroe, 70 of them, I believe. They may just be a little bit spent here. Going ahead and take the Mountaineers at home to cover the spread. Boise State goes on the road to UNLV. UNLV is catching 28 points at home. UNLV is just terrible. They've been blown out in virtually all their games. Boise State with a 4-run record. The only loss, they're a bad one at home, 51-17 to BYU, but they've been putting a ton of points on the board. Their defense has been giving up a decent amount as well, 32 to Hawaii, 21 to Colorado State. UNLV is a little bit offensively challenged, though, when you put them up against those teams. I'm going to take the Boise State Broncos to cover there. Rice on the road at Marshall. Marshall is laying 23 points at home against Rice. Rice has only played like 3 games all year long. Had a lot of coronavirus issues, and just haven't played a ton of games there. Marshall has looked really good when they have been able to play. They're actually 7-0, so they're undefeated, and I look for them to keep that undefeated streak going against Rice. Just not enough repetitions there for the Rice Owls. I think they have a decent team, but I believe that offensively that Marshall will just wear them down after 4 quarters. So give me the Thundering Herd to cover the spread there against the Rice Owls in Huntington. Texas at home against Kansas State. Texas is laying 7 points, on the road against Kansas State. Laying 7 points on the road at Kansas State. K-State, pretty close last week to win. Their major problem is a quarterback has been out since about midseason. He's been hurt. Texas, man, this just seems like a rudderless ship to me anymore. They don't have a lot to play for. They're not making a Big 12 championship game at 5-3 right now. K-State's at 4-5, maybe looking to salvage what's left of the rest of the season. Disappointing performance last week by Texas in the last home game, and then last home game for Sam Ellinger. Kansas State, not a bad team. Just a lot of injury issues, some COVID issues too. They should be getting over that by now. And I'm going to take them at home to cover. I'll take the home underdog to cover against Texas here. It wouldn't shock me. To see K-State pull the win out there. I think Texas is just a shitstorm. Oklahoma State goes on the road to TCU. Oak State is catching 2.5 here, actually, on the road. And, I got to wonder, is that a little bit of an overreaction to them getting blown out by Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago? I don't really know. But defensively, they're still pretty good. And this is a matchup of two pretty decent defenses. Offensively, I like Oklahoma State. I think they can do just a little bit more than what TCU can. They're ranked number 15 in the country, and with a 6-2 record, they still got some things there that they can prove. Can still make a nice bowl game, and end the season on a positive note. But once again, a season where they come up just a little bit short. Losing one game that they shouldn't lose. That loss to Texas is going to haunt them. Texas is not a very good team, really, and they ended up losing to them. So that's going to hurt them. But I'm going to take Oak State here on the road to cover that 2.5 points against TCU. Texas A&M at Auburn. Auburn is catching 7 at home. Not a very Kellen Mond-like performance last week against LSU for Kellen Mond. Had some nasty rain and this and that at Kyle Field, and some storms and stuff. So ended up LSU punched one in there late to cover the spread and lost 20-7. Texas A&M still a team that's only lost one game on the season. So that late season collapse that you usually see from Texas A&M just hasn't happened this year. They're ranked number 5 in the country right now. Auburn's not very good. Last week they had to depend on a 100-yard touchdown return of an interception there against Tennessee to kind of cover the spread against them and put that game out of reach. And Tennessee not been playing good football either. So I'm going to take Texas A&M to cover here. I know Bo Nix is a guy that plays a little bit better at home than he does on the road. So give me A&M all day long there to cover that. I think that's the easy one. The wind's just out of the sail, and I got to just be deflated after losing that to Alabama last week. I don't know. Should I? I don't know. No, I don't know. I'll pick a lock of the week after this is over with. Hopefully my lock is not the wrong side there. Memphis on the road at Tulane. Tulane is 5-5, and Memphis at 6-2. Tulane has quietly become a decent team. Looking at them, they lost 3 games in a row to start the season off. Well, they lost actually 4 out of their first 6. They've won 3 in a row. Took care of Army rather easily. And what impressed last week, Tulsa, which is a really good team, in double overtime. The last time out, they were at Tulsa and lost that game. It was 30-24. I just think that this is a lot better team than what the record indicates. Memphis has just been up and down. Last week they only put 7 points up on the board against Navy, 10 points against Cincinnati a couple weeks before that, so they kind of struggled to score a little bit. 1.5 points at home is not a huge margin, so I'm going to take the Green Wave in Tulane here I might be crazy, but I'm going to take them to cover that number. Ohio State at Michigan State. Michigan State is catching 23.5 at home. This one's been bet up a little bit. Yeah, Michigan State last week with the nice win at home over Northwestern kind of ruined their undefeated season. I don't think so. I don't think they get as lucky. Ohio State's ranked number 4. Excuse me. All right, the mad burps. That's football and beer burps and pizza. If you haven't eaten Domino's Memphis barbecue chicken pizza, I would recommend it. It's very good. 23.5, not enough. I think Ohio State covers here. Reason being, at that number 4 playoff ranking, a lot of people are questioning Ohio State. A lot of people question them, whether they're going to be able to get into the playoffs, not playing any more games than what they've had. So they're in a mad dash right now. I think they're going to be trying to put up style points. I think Justin Fields is going to throw the ball all over the yard against Michigan State. I think they're going to light them up and win easily. I wouldn't be shocked to see them win by 40 points. Rest in peace, Pat Patterson. Yes, sir. Stooge number 2. Review on the new Hardee's Monster Burger. I don't know what that is.